Hello everyone, I'm back and we're switching gears here. I have access to a large format printer, so I'm going to spend the next week or two or three or four, whatever it takes, to figure out how to get this thing going. So in the meantime, I did get my new hats embroidered, and of course I had my shirt already. Anyway, this is the printer. It's a Modix big 120. It can print 2 feet by 2 feet by 4 feet. And I know nothing about, I've used printers before, 3D printers before, but I've never had to set one up from scratch or, from this level. It was always set up. I just had to put in my G code, my slicer, and get it working. So, a guy, Brian, came by and helped me figure out how to at least get started, because I was starting from scratch. So the first thing is go turn on the bed warmers, each of those to 50 degrees. Then come over here and turn on the power to this box over here. And then once you do that, this little panel lights up, and he went in and set home. He just touched the home button, made sure it went home. X, Y, and Z home, went through all of those. Everything went okay. We had some issues. The printer hasn't worked in a while, and so the filament apparently has absorbed moisture and it's kind of brittle. So we'll probably have to get some new filament. Let's see. And then we had to put it through the extruder, get it down there, do a little extrusion test. There's an extrusion test right there. So when he left, we shut everything off, and then I said, all right, I'm gonna see if I can do this from scratch. So I did what we just said. I pushed on the little extrude heater, and it was at like 40 degrees. Now it's at 210, so it's ready to print, and it's ready to go. Now it needs something to print. What we printed was cubes, and there were already programs in there for cubes. This one assumed a 0.4 millimeter extrusion tip. Obviously that wasn't right. It didn't come out very good, so we stopped it. Tried 0.8, it didn't come out a whole lot better. And we jumped up to 1.0, and you can see this one came out much better. Still not great, but much better. Bottom, where it sits on the table, is great. Top is not too bad, good enough. Sides are a little bit rough. It did start to slip a little bit, and so he pushed either up or down, I can't remember which, and that helped correct it somewhat. He also said it was drifting to one side. So anyway, those are mechanical issues, but there was a guy that was helping us previously, and he kind of vanished into thin air, so we're trying to pick up where he left off. Trying not to start from scratch, but we might have to. Here's some of the stuff that was printed previously, and you can see that it didn't work out so great. This is a model of a Grand Sport Corvette, and it looks kind of okay, but kind of not. You can see the individual strands. Light's not really good. There you go. So obviously that shouldn't be like that. And the thing's heavy, unbelievably heavy. He must have an infill that is unbelievable. But you can see there's a lot of loose strands. Here's just the side of it printed. Much better, still not great, but much better than that original one. Let's see, so he's obviously been trying to print stuff. Again, our goal is to print full-size bodies. So here's an actual body panel. I'm guessing this is a fender to a Chupacabra, by the way. I'm at Charley Strickland, this is his printer. There's the Chupacabra. So I'm guessing this is, I don't know, a fender or a vent or something. Might be that vent right there. Anyway, so it looks like it was printed in this direction. And what we noticed is at first it does a real good job, and then as it gets further and further up, the printing quality goes down significantly. And then if you look at the back side, hard to do one-handed, you can see that it's actually, there's just strings of filament that didn't melt. Anyway, we got to figure out what's going on there. And then there is a much larger thing right here, and it's even worse. it got to the point where obviously it just fell apart. A bunch of little pieces around here that got printed. I saw file names earlier, so I'm guessing maybe this is a turret for something that's relatively heavy. It came out, I mean, if you only care about function, it might be okay, but it sure doesn't look good. And then there's some smaller pieces here that came out pretty good. I mean, this one looks okay. This one not as much, and this one not as much. Maybe he was testing. Looks like somebody was chewing on that or something. And there's a bunch of scrap here. So anyway, obviously the goal is to start getting good parts. Here's more parts. Looks like the start of a car, I'm guessing. And another start of a car. But it ended up not working, obviously. All right, so once I got everything turned on, heated up, I come over here and I have to touch it to wake it up. And we're looking at this. All right, so I go over here. It has a slot for an SD card, but I don't feel a card. It's right there. I don't feel a card in there. So I'm guessing maybe it gets loaded into memory and it stays there. I don't know. But anyway, if I push on the card button right here, oh, so there is no card one. So it's going to go through this simple routine where it says, I'm reading the files on card one, and it will come back and say, there is no such. So here, before it even does that, let's see if I can, there we go. So let me try that again. Try it again, there we are. All right, so it goes to card 0. It took me a while to figure this out. The asterisk means it is a folder. So my guess is that first folder is a 1/8 scale Chupacabra. So if I push on that, and I haven't figured out if this thing's slow or just gotta push hard or what. All right, I have no clue what that means. Anyway, again, we're trying to pick up where somebody else left off. So I would guess those are maybe his latest programs to try to print something. And it must be something with the Chupacabra, I don't know. So let me go up. Hello. Like I said, I haven't figured out. Do I need to push harder or softer, or what do I need to do? Here, let's push on the X. There we go. Push on this again. Push on that. Sometimes, there we go. All right, then there's calibration. I looked at it. It's just print some stuff. Chupacabra full-size testing. I'm going to bet that that's these fenders that we just looked at, fender pieces. Don't want to do that. That would take forever to print. Tank turret. I'm only guessing that maybe that's what that is. I know nothing about tank turrets, so maybe that's what it is. Again, the CFP body is actually the G code. It's not a directory because it doesn't have the little asterisks. But if I look over here, there's a Grand Sport. I'm familiar with that because it's mine. All right, and let's see. Oh, I must have hit the CFFP maybe. So let's go up. Oh, and there's even a right on this one. Front left fender body, super slicer. So again, we're trying to second guess what somebody else did. All right, I'm going to go up a level and try, because that's not what I saw earlier underneath the here we go. Okay, let's go back to the Grand Sport. All right, so look at this. There's, I'm assuming, a Grand Sport body print that takes 2 days to print. There's a fender. I'm wondering if that 12M is a 1.2 millimeter nozzle. I don't know. Through experimentation, we think this is a 1 millimeter nozzle, but we're not positive, and I didn't feel like messing with it. The next one is a Grand Sport all but sides STLs fixed to G-code. The next one is the Grand Sport right side, Grand Sport sides, right side test, and right side test. All right, so I didn't want to push that first one, even though that's the one I want. I'd like to have the whole Grand Sport body. But I didn't know about leaving this running for 2 days. So I just talked to Charlie. He said, hey, got nothing to lose. So everything's on, everything's going, everything's running. I'm going to push that button. Well, I was hoping that by pushing that button, it would actually try to do that. There we go. Like I said, this touchpad isn't. All right, there's the 2-day code, size, layer height, object height, filament needed, slice by Prusa slicer. Oh, there we are. Last modified March the 31st of this year. It is now November 9th, my birthday. Estimated print time, 46 hours and 14 minutes. All right, well, I'm gonna press the print. And I hear the head moving. Let's see. I was looking to see if there was anything that changed here. There's not. So it's going through its calibration, X, Y, Z. So I want to show you, again, this is what I'm going to print. Hopefully it comes up better than this. I do know this was a very early print, so hopefully that one's significantly better. And then this one, if it came out this good, I would be tickled pink. Although the scale doesn't look the same. Yeah, maybe it is. All right. So I'm going to watch this for a little bit and see that it goes, looks like it's going to do what it's supposed to do. If it doesn't, of course, I'll stop it. There's a camera here. I don't know where it's hooked up or how to hook it up. I have to figure that out. What else? I can't even get on the network right now. I don't know what's going on. So again, there's a choice between doing this and doing nothing. So I'm doing this. I'm wondering if possibly the filament was getting caught up. And that's what was causing some of those anomalies. I do not know. I think that would require somebody to actually babysit this thing to find out. But you can see it's printing at least something. Anyone that's printed this stuff before knows that, well, we just saw it's going to take 48 hours to print this goofy thing. So I'm not going to sit here for 48 hours and watch it. And I doubt you want to do that either. All right. So at some time in the future, I'll hopefully get the camera set up and we can do a time lapse of it, but I don't have that right now. And we'll just watch this go around a couple of circles. That's really all I have. While we're here, there's the engine to my Cobra. I know it's mine because it has the aluminum heads. I swapped out the cast iron heads over there for these aluminum heads. I still need to get rocker arms for it if I remember right. And that's pretty much it for now. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off, and tomorrow I'll come by here and hopefully this will be halfway printed when I come by here, or a fourth away depending on what time I come here. But anyway, that's all we can do. If it doesn't work, then I need to figure it out. So if anyone knows anything about 3D printing, and it wouldn't take a lot to know more than I do, feel free to jump in, give me advice, send me a message, whatever. My goal is, like I said, to get this working. All right. Like, subscribe, hit the alert. Thanks if you want to donate something. And if you don't know what I'm doing, you don't know Jack. Bye.